I often see people come in either having done this for themselves or having this done by a well-meaning advisor of some type, often a broker, really, not an advisor, who puts together a rather simplistic cash flow. And that cash flow makes certain assumptions about the returns they'll get on their investments. And without actually taking a much deeper dive, that type of report, I'm just going to be honest, isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Hey folks, this is Colin Richards, president and founder of Lord & Richards, and once again, I'm excited to be with you today on this episode of the Lord & Richards Show. And in this episode, we're going to be continuing a series on your Lord & Richards roadmap. The Lord & Richards roadmap is designed to provide you a comprehensive written plan to cover all the critical areas of retirement and becoming financially independent. That means never having to go back to work unless that's what you really enjoy doing, but not because you have to do that to pay for the lifestyle that you want to live. And so we're doing this every single day for people just like you who are looking out into the future and a little uncertain about what's going on in the world and what might mess up your portfolio in retirement. And the confidence that we're providing is helping our clients to be able to go forward with retirement with great security around the fact that they've got a written income plan, a written risk management plan, a written healthcare and chronic illness plan, a written tax plan, as well as a written estate plan, a legacy and risk management plan. These are all vital to make sure that you never run out of money before you run out of life, to make sure you're not devastated by a chronic illness, to make sure that your portfolio isn't wiped out by the next market downturn, and so forth. Well, today we're going to zero in on the next in the series, which is making sure you have a written income plan, a written income plan. And so for the next couple of episodes, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what it means to have a plan that will inspire you and give you the confidence that you need to retire right on time for you. You know, that date's not the same for every single person. I know business owners or even employees who love what they do so much, they'll never stop doing it unless they have to. But I know a lot of folks who say, hey, I'm looking forward to the date when I can step away from my job, my daily grind, if you will, and enjoy more of the people that I love, the places that I love, and the things that I love doing. And so wherever you come from on that spectrum, we want to help you as part of our Lord & Richards retirement plan process to develop confidence and security in that. So what does a written income plan do? Well, first of all, it's written down. It's written down. And the goal here is to answer this simple question. Do I have enough to retire on time for you? Some people may want to look and see, hey, Lord & Richards, hey, folks, will you help me retire maybe a little earlier than what some folks do? And others say, no, I want to retire a little bit later. And so the first step is making sure that you spend some time with us sitting down, and we're going to test your portfolio and its ability to last over your lifetime. And if you're married, that includes your spouse. We don't want you running out of money before you run out of life. Part of that process is getting a good handle of what you expect your expenses to be, and we'll help you with that. That task, I think, sometimes feels a little bit daunting for folks as they're trying to prepare and develop a budget. I call it more of an expense report because budget sometimes feels like something that's constricting. What I really want to know, and what my team wants to know, is what does it take for you to live comfortably in retirement? What does it take for you to fulfill your goals, dreams, the things that you want to do, your bucket lists, if you will? And then how do we put a solution into place that makes sure you never run out of money before you run out of life? One of the steps in our process involves then making some projections. Now, here's the problem that I often see. I often see people come in either having done this for themselves or having this done by a well-meaning advisor of some type, often a broker, really, not an advisor, who puts together a rather simplistic cash flow. And that cash flow makes certain assumptions about the returns they'll get on their investments. Returns like, oh, let's be conservative and say you'll average 5%. And in that cash flow, I'll see 5% every single year. And I'll see a static number also for things like taxes. And I might see an inflation number, but not always. And without actually taking a much deeper dive, that type of report, I'm just going to be honest, isn't worth the paper it's printed on, because we can't count on things to be constant. What we're going to do at Lord & Richards is we're going to take you out into the future, and we're going to take the real characteristics of the portfolio you have right now, what you're already doing, and we're going to test that using the knowledge we've gleaned from the past about market declines and so forth. And we're going to let our software run 10,000 at least simulations to see if in every single case, no matter what the market does, it dives, it goes sideways, it soars, no matter what the situation is with healthcare, if you actually find yourself in a very expensive chronic illness environment for years, we're going to test that for you. If one spouse passes away earlier, losing potentially a stream of income and definitely part of your Social Security, we're going to test that. We're going to test taxes and the real effect of taxes. And so all these things are variables. And so what we want to do is have not one plan that simply shows getting the same rate of return every single year and taxes being static, but many, many, many simulations so that when we give you the probability of success that you'll never run out of money, you can have great confidence that that has been done with every possible variation in mind that we can think of. And we've done this for a lot of people. When we do that, it's going to be a revelation, because a lot of times we think we're okay based on kind of that static model of we'll get the same return every single year. But did you know that actual results vary wildly when you put in real rates of return? So instead of 5% every year, maybe we have a 10% one year, a minus 10% the other, and so on. Withdrawing during the down years actually accelerates the likelihood of running out of money. You say, well, what do I do? Markets always go down. Well, in our next segments, we're going to talk about how to place some certainty under your feet. We've already talked about, and I would encourage you to look at or to listen to previous segments in this same series on how to develop a written risk management plan and how to put a floor under your feet there. And we've talked already about the Lord & Richards safety percentage, our promise to you that once we determine your downside risk level of comfort, tolerance, that we're not going to breach that. And so we've got those things going in place on your investments to help provide a little bit more stable platform from which you can draw income. But even then, that's challenging. And so what we want to do then is put in some solutions, some actual investments alongside of a written plan to decide what to take from where and when. And you've got a lot of pieces potentially. You might not have thought of all these. So in our next segment, we're going to go into answering this question: do I have enough to retire? Let's take a look at some of those non-guaranteed income sources and see what we should really expect from those. And I'm going to get into those in our next segment. In the meantime, I would love for you to connect with us. Our team at Lord & Richards is serving people just like you every single day, helping you live retirement with a great deal of confidence that comes with a written retirement roadmap. I would love to talk to you. My team and I would love to get to know you. It simply starts with a phone call.